Man, Stephen A. Smith, man, he's making himself look real bad, man. Now his colleagues are coming out, calling him out for his constant lies with this back and forth between him and LeBron James. Won't believe what some of his colleagues said. But we're going to unpack all that here next on the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Well, guys, Stephen A. Smith is caught up in his own web of lies, and he's starting to be exposed real bad. Now, you know the constant back and forth with him and LeBron James. And Stephen A. Smith, he's turning one thing into another thing. See, it all started out because it was the topic of discussion about Bronny James. Now he's pulling all this other stuff out of the woodworks, and it's not even focused on Bronny James no more. And that's why people think Stephen A. Smith is taking personal jabs at LeBron James, because now it has nothing to do with Bronny. All the conversations that Stephen A. Smith has had on ESPN First Take, they not even talking about Bronny James no more. He went on Gil's Arena and all the smoke podcasts, and he was talking about where it all stemmed from the Bronny James criticism. But now he's got off of that. Stephen A. Smith is bringing up stuff that has nothing to do with the topic at hand. He's saying things that it's not even pertaining around Bronny James. And then we've always known Stephen A. Smith to always say he's never had a problem with LeBron James. He said he's a good dude, a great father. He had no issue with LeBron James. Now he's caught up in his own web of lies, because now through this beef they have, this so-called beef, now Stephen A. Smith is being exposed for the liar that he is, because now he's walking back all his statements. Now, we know what he did on ESPN First Take when he made the reference to LeBron James not being at Kobe Bryant's memorial service. Rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. And then he talked about the D Wade situation, the Hall of Fame speech. Now, Stephen A., why would Stephen A. bring up Kobe in this situation, man? And you heard what Charles Barkley said. That was a weak move. That's really diabolical of what Stephen A. did, because what does that have to do with Bronny James? Now Stephen A. Smith is reaching. LeBron got him so confused and in the trick bag. Stephen A. Smith is trying anything that he can do to win an argument, and he's not going to win. Now, his colleagues have came out and spoke. I want you to take a listen to some of the things that his colleagues have said. But before we get off into that, right now, I'm at 14,267 subscribers. I'm on my road to 15,000. With the help of you guys, we can get there. Also, if you're now new to this channel, just now come across this platform, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. And I appreciate everybody's support. Now, let's take a look at what Michael Wilbon said about the Kobe situation. And let's take a look at what he said about when it comes to Bronny James, because we all know Stephen A. Smith went on record and said that he wasn't going to talk about it, but his producers said, nah, you have to talk about it. So let's look at how Michael Wilbon responded. Michael Wilbon says all this Bronny talk on ESPN is just for clicks and refused to discuss him the way others shows do. Michael Wilbon said, I have a 17-year-old son, so this matters to me. I'm particularly sensitive to it. I'd do anything for my kid. And I would hug LeBron for what he did for his kid. There were shows that talked about Bronny every day. You know what shows I'm talking about. See, Michael Wilbon's taking a shot. He said, I don't care if my bosses get mad. They would try to get Tony and me to talk about it. No, we were not going to do it. They talked about him more than Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. That's pondering. He's pandering. That's what he said. It's all pandering. Let me be clear. Our business is a piece of shit a lot of days. That's what Michael Wilbon said. So basically, when Stephen A. Smith said his bosses wanted him to talk about it, you can tell your bosses, no, I don't want to talk about it. Just like what Michael Wilbon said it in his little article here. It's been days that they wanted them to talk about things and they didn't want to talk about it. See, that's the diabolical stuff. Now let's get off into why Stephen A. had to retract some of his statements when he brought up the Kobe Bryant situation. Like LeBron James did not attend the memorial service. And I've always told people when it came out that LeBron James was there, a lot of people on YouTube, such as Dreamers Pro and these other YouTubers saying, well, LeBron never showed up. I've always said, did y'all even listen to the memorial? Did y'all listen to when Diana Taurasi was speaking at the memorial? Let's take a listen at what Diana Taurasi said in Kobe's memorial when she referenced something. Let's show the clip on that.
Well, at an early age. I mean, who has a turn-away fadeaway jumper at 11? LeBron barely got it today.
Now, who was Diana Taurasi pointing at? Diana Taurasi made a statement about LeBron James, about Gigi having a fadeaway jumper at the age of 11. And she pointed over at somebody when she talked about LeBron and smiled. So there's proof that LeBron was at the memorial service. LeBron just didn't want to be on camera. And Diana Taurasi's little clip when she was speaking about Gianna, that proved that LeBron James was in attendance. That's another lie that Stephen A. Smith told. So that's another lie that Stephen A. Smith told, was that he had no issues with LeBron James. So let's take a listen to what Matt Barnes said about Stephen A. Smith lying, and then we'll follow that up with Nick Wright. Let's take a listen.
Because you can't lie, people make careers off dogging dude. Skip Bayless comes to mind. One thing Kobe said, I asked Kobe in the last interview, like out of all the negative things that were said to you, does anything stand out?
Was there ever anything that you remember that was said about you that really kind of stung and hurt?
You know what's funny? All of it does.
Like, I think you guys forget sometimes that this man is human. Stephen A., you know I fuck with you, you my dog, but I think you crossed the line. And even though you apologized today about the Kobe Memorial and the D-Wade retirement, like, that's too far, man. And you have a lot of responsibility because you know a lot of secrets in the league about a lot of different people. And that comes with a big responsibility, and you've carried it well. But I think you were out of pocket. Whether you agree or disagree with who should say what, Bron, keep doing your shit, bro. Keep talking your shit. We appreciate this. We didn't get to see the side of Kobe until later. People want to know what it's really like, and you gave them a glimpse today, man. Seeing Stephen A. sweat a little bit. He has you sweating, bro. He has you fumbling your words a little bit and out of character, and I like it. But
now, you heard what Matt Barnes had to say. Matt Barnes kept it real. But I'm going to play a clip of Nick Wright. I think Nick Wright sums it all up. So y'all guys pay attention to what Nick Wright said.
Up until 6 weeks ago, the stance was, oh, nothing but love for LeBron James. I just think he's only the second greatest player ever, and because of that, he has a problem with me. That's been the public stance. And now the guy makes fun of you on Instagram and takes a couple jokes at your expense on McAfee, and you're letting everyone know, actually, no, never liked him. Quote, he'll smile in your face and stab you in the back. That's why I don't like him. You always claimed you had no problem with LeBron. You always claimed He only had a problem with you. Was there something personal before? LeBron wouldn't talk to him. That was the problem. LeBron wouldn't talk to him or acknowledge him. And Michael Jordan texts with him. That's it.
Yeah, you heard what Nick Wright said. He summed it all up because Stephen A. Smith been on national television telling people he hasn't had a problem with LeBron James. He actually likes the dude. He likes what he's done on the basketball court, outside of basketball. He has referenced him, what he's doing for his children, right? So now all of a sudden, y'all get into beef. LeBron James goes on the Pat McAfee show, sticks a fork in you because, believe it or not, him and Pat McAfee don't get along. They're almost equal. And some people say Pat McAfee has a bigger platform than Stephen A. Smith. So LeBron James, what he does is calculated. He went on the Pat McAfee and he show and he stuck it to Stephen A. Smith. Now Stephen A. Smith has come out on First Take telling lies, talking about, I don't like the dude and I never did. Oh, now you don't like the dude and you never did. Just like Nick Wright said, that's the issue. Stephen A. Smith is caught up in a web of lies, and his colleagues are calling him out for the BS. I see everybody in the comments section, #salute. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. Oh yeah, I forgot. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And that's going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and behind the mic, K Sapp. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.